Hey, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we got the performance review for these guys right here. This is the Nike Kobe AD. We're just going to call it the Kobe AD Mid because there's no new name change for them from these to the previous version. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now the traction on the Kobe AD, for me at least, was beastly. Not only did these things grip the floor incredibly well, but they made such a screeching noise when they were on the court. It was just unbelievable. I haven't had a sound like that come from my shoes since playing in the Anta KT outdoor shoe, that and the Kobe 9. Now while the traction was phenomenal up front, there was some weird issue in the back where every once in a while I'd get this weird jerky slip. I don't know what it was from or what was causing it, because like I said, the forefoot was perfectly fine, so I don't know if it's just the design of the traction pattern. It kind of goes in spirals here, and then right here in the bottom it goes straight, so I'm wondering if maybe I was slipping on this portion. I'm not really sure, but it wasn't anything that was a huge deal breaker. I don't land on my heel or use my heel too often. It was just when I would on certain movements, it would just be like a weird boom, and then it would catch itself. But overall, I was super satisfied with the traction. I think that it's great. It's not going to be durable for outdoors, which is pretty much like every other sneaker that comes out in recent years. But if you're looking for good traction, these guys got you covered. Now the cushion is said to be a Lunar Lawn midsole with a heel Zoom Air unit, and the Zoom Air unit in the rear is very large volume. Not only that, but you can actually feel it. It's super comfortable. And the Lunar midsole itself, again, super comfortable. I think that these feel closer to something like the Kobe 10 or the Kobe AD NXT versus something like the Kobe AD regulars, or whatever you want to call them, the one that I didn't like. I felt that this was just a nice balance between firm cushion with a little bit of bounce, and then that heel Zoom unit is just incredible impact protection because it's so large. Zoom Air, when done right, is just one of my favorite cushions of all time. It might actually be just my number one. I always go back and be like, yo, Zoom Air is the shit. And these are a good example of that cushion system that I fell in love with back in the 90s. So if you're looking for a ride that's well balanced, it's got a little bit of firmness, a little bit of plushness, a little bit of bounciness, this is the shoe that's got all of that. Now the materials, I said in my first impression that I thought that they were pretty horrible because it just feels like cheap synthetic felt, and I still stand by that. The materials are simply cheap. They're not something that I would consider being on an actual signature shoe. Hell, I've seen better materials on team shoes that go for $100 or less. However, the materials did work, so in performance terms, I guess it's perfectly fine. Just kind of depends on what you value in terms of your dollar. It's been fairly durable, so that's another plus. The downside though, and this is not something that I would necessarily rate against the shoe, but it's something to note, is that the ventilation of this material is just non-existent. It is one of the worst ventilated shoes that I played in since the original Clutch Fit Drive. So just keep that in mind. If you require ventilation, or if you want some sort of ventilation, then this guy might be a little bit too hot for you. To me, it's not really the heat that really messes with me, it's the moisture buildup. Without any way for the moisture to kind of dissipate and evaporate, it just ends up getting really wet inside the shoe. No, that's not what she said. And when you get that problem, you get a lot of blistering, and that's what I ended up getting in these guys right here. Now the overall fit was kind of a weird problem. My left shoe fit me perfectly fine. My right shoe right here destroyed my feet. I don't know why, but they were just a little bit too tight. That coupled with that horrible ventilation just really wrecked my feet. I haven't had blisters that bad in quite a while, and they were everywhere, dude. It was nasty. So what I would recommend, if you can, try these on in store, because true to size on one side for me felt great, but then my right shoe, like I said, just felt like I needed to size up. And I've never had an issue where one shoe fits bigger than the other or anything like that, so I don't think that's a problem. I normally wear a single size. These guys right here, I'm wondering if it was a manufacturing defect where my right shoe just sucked. But that's what my experience was initially. So again, just try them on just to be sure. Wide footers for sure, you'll probably want to go up half a size. In terms of overall lockdown, I thought that they were pretty good, but again, they were really tight. So it was like one of those things where I couldn't tell at a certain point. It's like my feet just are stuck in there, you know what I mean? So I know that the midfoot felt great. The heel area I didn't have a problem with. I've heard that other people have some issues. Me personally, the shoe was just so freaking snug on my foot that I didn't have a problem whatsoever. The overall support is pretty basic, but it all gets the job done. You have a nice little outrigger right here. I thought that worked really great, especially in conjunction with this flat outsole. It just promotes a lot of stability, so it's easier for you to move and then recover upon movements, allowing your feet to get set up in your shot and things like that. I just really enjoy that when a setup is just super neutral, and that's what these guys are. You got an internal heel counter, which did a good job of keeping your foot on the footbed, especially in the heel portion. And then something that we haven't seen in quite a while, you got this glass-based carbon fiber shank at the midfoot section for torsional support and rigidity. And again, we haven't had that in a long time, and it's interesting how much you miss one of those things when they're not on your shoe. So overall, I feel that the Kobe AD Mid is 10 times better than the original AD. I still like the NXT just just a little bit more, only because of the fit and everything. I feel like those had such a nice fit and lockdown over these guys, where these guys just kind of like destroyed my feet because of the fitting issue and the ventilation or moisture issue. However, it's not something that would deter me from wanting to play in the shoe again, as long as they fit me right. I'm actually like really close to like going and grabbing just a half a size up just to see, because I really did like everything else on the sneaker. Traction was beastly, cushion was awesome, materials suck, but I mean, they got the job done, so I can't complain too bad. Only thing that really was a bummer was that ventilation and fit issue. So to me, I count that as a win, especially if you're able to grab these and they fit your foot perfectly. Also in the description box is going to be a link over to WearTesters.com. You can head over there for more performance information along with their weight, their price, and their score. Let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comment section. Have you played in the AD yet, or the AD mid? They really got to do something about the names. They should just like either rename them something different or start numbering them, because that's going to get really confusing, especially when you're trying to search for like a review. You're like Kobe AD mid, but they're like all the same name. I just don't get that. But anyway, solid shoe. Let me know what you guys think about them down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out quite a bit. Subscribe if you haven't, and until next time, guys, have a good one.